you need to hear this. You have an extraordinary life before you, but your extraordinary life is before you. It is not behind you. What you supported there ain't got nothing to do with what God got for you. What you supported then was getting familiar with the examples to get to where you are at this specific second here. However, what God got for you, do you know that you can really wreck your life totally up? You can jack it up as far as possible up. Also, you can pivot, hit the nail on the head. Anything you center around that you're going to keep on increasing, also extend in your life. Yet, in the event that you center on what you don't have, on the off chance that the best anyone can hope for at this point is to bring up the negative things in your day-to-day existence. Anything that you center around, you're going to extend that certain individual. There's nothing left but to grab. We as a whole have had encounters in our lives that in the event that we let these encounters to do as such, we will let them weigh us down. Assuming that we grant them to do as such, will be their luggage that will be hauling through life, holding us down, smothering our capability to give and to contribute throughout everyday life. Assuming we keep on conveying these things, we can never be open to affection, adoration, and opportunity that life brings to the table for us, since we are so full of what we have. Do you realize that every day you thought you weren't gonna make it? Do you remember the days when you thought it was absolutely unbearable and you thought you weren't gonna endure that one? Do you know that your survival rate for every last one of them bad days is 100%? Your track record for surviving bad days is 100%. That's a fact. All you gotta do is start changing the way you think. You can protect yourself from negativity, and that's what stops most people: negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity. The way you can put a coating around your mind is with one simple thing: gratitude. Gratitude erases negativity. When you're showing a spirit of gratitude for what I got, now that you're satisfied with it, but you're grateful for what you got, develop a spirit of gratitude. I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful to be American. I'm thankful to be part of this planet. I'm thankful to see another day and know things aren't what I want them to be. No, I don't have all the things I want to have, but I'm thankful that I'm still here. I have another opportunity, another day to live, another chance to contribute, another chance to make a difference in life. The moment you start feeling abundant and worthy, you are generating wealth. The moment you're empowered and feel you're beginning to step toward success, the moment you start feeling whole, your healing begins. And when you love yourself and you love all of life, you will create an equal. And now you're causing an effect. I feel very strongly that we can make an incredible difference in life. Phyllis Marx said, "Giving empowers you because, taken to its ultimate, what you are really giving is love." Love is a motivating force behind the infinite supply of universal energy. Love truly makes the world go around, and as with anything circular, it's going to keep coming back. But I always believe that I could do whatever I set my mind to. That's the only credit I will give myself, is when other people break, give up, and stop. I just don't, right? And when it comes down to the story, you tell yourself about yourself. Now, if you don't know this quote, live by it. One can have no smaller or greater mastery than mastery over oneself. That's Da Vinci. Da Vinci did amazing things with his life. I wanted to do equally amazing things with mine. And if that's the game that we're playing, if I can construct my belief system, if I can choose at any moment to believe something that's more empowering, then I was believing the moment before, and that will actually find its way into my actions. Allow me to do things that I couldn't do the moment before. Then it's like that moment in the Matrix where Naya realizes he knows Kung Fu. And that's like as funny as that is, that's how I think about life to me. The very fundamental purpose of life is to find out how many skills I can acquire, those that have utility, and then put that utility to the test in service of something greater than myself. How many skills can I acquire that have utility and put that utility to the test in service of something greater than myself? That for me is the purpose of life. Now I don't actually want to know Kung Fu. That is not the mission that I'm here to live. But I knew that I had to identify my mission. So what was going to be my mission? Mother Teresa has a quote, "Nobody will act for the many, but people will act for the one." And that really struck me because I realized they were right. I was looking at this global pandemic of ill health and I wasn't moving into action. But thinking about my mom and my sister or the uncle I had who ate himself to death when I was 12 years old, that made me want to act. I think everybody is motivated by two different things. One, you have the beautiful things in your life, the things that are going well, the things that you're grateful for, the things that you're moving towards. Instead of a way, you have a compelling vision for your future and it's something that you're very excited about. All of those things are the beautiful things. Now the flip side of that equation is the thing that it's people that doubt you. It's haters. It's things you're moving away from. It's fear-based things. It's something that you absolutely refuse to let happen. So no one that is incredibly potent to me are the people that want to see me fail. So it's very different than people who just think you're going to fail. I actually don't have a lot of aggression towards people like that. But people that want me to fail, those people I have a lot of aggression for, and I find very acute moments. The darkness serves you better. In very acute moments, now the light, the things you're moving towards, the things that are beautiful, the things that you're grateful for, all of that is the only winning strategy. Long term, because the darkness becomes corrosive. You start to become bitter. You start to be angry. You stop being optimistic. You stop seeing things in a way that's empowering and positive. And I mean just thinking about the deep limbic system. When it gets inflamed, you perceive things as negative. And I think negativity stops people from making progress. There's a whole host of neurological reasons and a sort of mindset reasons why I think that being negative over the long run becomes very, very detrimental and holds you. But from an acute standpoint, they have done studies on this. If you want someone to be able to endure more pain, the surest way to get people to endure more pain is to let them get angry, let them be aggressive, and in doing that, people are able to withstand in the clinical trials. I'll say there are probably more than this, but in clinical trials, they are able to withstand 30% more pain. So I just start being able to take more pain, anger, and aggression, and lets you do 30% more. So that's why I think in acute ways and short-term bursts that the darkness will serve you. Philosophy, as I thought that the last time I was here, philosophy in my personal opinion is a major determining factor in how your life works out. Philosophy is a major determining factor in how your life works out. Philosophy to form our philosophy. You got to think, got to use your mind, got to process ideas, and this whole process over a lifetime starting way back here when we were children, schools that we have attended, our parents, our experiences, all this stuff that we have processed by thinking, the process helps to develop our philosophy. And in my opinion, each person's personal philosophy is a major factor in how your life works out. Here's what I called it in the last presentation when I was here. It's called the set of the sail. Each person's personal philosophy is like the set of the sail. Now, I used to think it was circumstances that ordered my life. If someone would have asked me at age 25, "Mr. Owen, how come you're not doing well? Pennies in your pocket, creditors calling, nothing in the bank. Behind on your promises to your family, you live in America. 25 years old, got a beautiful family, every reason to do well, and things are not going that well for you. What is wrong here?" It would not have occurred to me to blame my philosophy. I mean, it would not have occurred to me. Saying, well, I got this lousy philosophy, and that's how I got these pennies in my pocket and nothing in the bank. Things aren't going well. That would not have occurred to me. I found it much easier to blame the government, much easier to blame the tax problem. I used to say taxes are too high. Top tax rate when I first started paying taxes, 91%. Back then, when your income reached a certain level, all your income over that 91%. So I used to say that's too high now, the tax. The top tax rate is about 33%, but people are still saying the taxes are too steep, but you can't use that anymore. If it's gone from 91 to 33, how could it be too high? Come on, I threw all that old excuse stuff away. Some people found it though, and they're using it these days. My old list. I used to blame the traffic, the weather, used to blame circumstances. White people say, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too old. I was raised in obscurity, raised on a farm, parents of modest means, all the stuff. If you would ask me, how come you find yourself here? Age 25, living in America, the land of abundance and opportunity. Pennies here in the bank, not doing well, creditors calling. It would not have occurred to me to blame my philosophy. I found it easier to blame the company policy. I used to say, if this is all they pay, how do they expect you to do well? So I figured that, my future was going to be tied to what everybody else was arranging the economy, right? Interest rates. I used to say things cost too much. That was my whole explanation, not my philosophy. Until my teacher taught me better, then this is where the problem was my own personal philosophy. Here's what's exciting about each person's personal philosophy. That's what makes us different than dogs, and animals and birds and cats and spiders and alligators. That's what makes us different than all of the life forms. The ability to think, the ability to use your mind, the ability to process ideas and not just operate by instinct. In the winter, I'm telling you, the goose can only fly south. And what if the south doesn't look too good? Tough luck. It can only fly south. But see, human beings are not like a goose can only fly south. I mean, you can turn around and go north. You can go east, you can go west, you can order the entire process of your own life. And we do that by the way we think. We do that by exercising our mind. We do that by processing ideas and come up with a better philosophy, a better strategy for our life, goals for the future, okay? And plans to achieve these goals. All this comes from developing our philosophy. Philosophy helps us to process what's available. Well, when we get here, we got seed, and we got soil, and we got some rain, and we've got some what? Sunshine. And we've got some seasons, and what? The miracle of life. Now the key is, what do you do with all this stuff? How do you turn all this stuff that's available here into equity, promise, and lifestyle, and dreams, and future, possibilities, all of this that's possible now with human beings? How do you take all this stuff and turn it into these equities and values? Well, it starts with philosophy. What is the seed? What is the soil? What is the daylight? What is rain? Is it conceivable to take a portion of each of all the stuff that is accessible, furthermore, transform it into food, and transform it into esteem, and transform it into sustenance, transform it into something fabulous and interesting that no other living things can do? And the answer is yes, indeed. Be that as it may, you can't manage everything. And furthermore, how to manage it, except if you start refining your way of thinking. Think to utilize your thoughts and reinforce your way of thinking. Sow the seed and the soil and the rain and the daylight. This is called, the economy. What's more? The banks, the cash, and the schools. What's more? All that is accessible out there. Handling data. How to manage all of that. Also, transform it into value and worth. That is a significant test of life. My closely held individual belief.